Welcome to the next episode of the Ram Rebel Rouser. The whole goal of this project is to make this Ram Rebel look and perform as good as a Ford Raptor. And in this episode, we're gonna mod the truck and see how it performs before and after. The Ramp Travel Index Test, or RTI, measures the amount of suspension flex and articulation. Before we do the lift and tires, here's the RTI score for the stock truck. The stock RTI score is 378. Keep it in mind as you watch this video. Here I am using my fog lights. Not enough light, but it's a wide beam so I can see to the side. Regular headlights is already really good. I mean, these LEDs on the Ram already very good lights, but then if I want more, it's insane. We've done a lot of BFGs and Goodyear Duratrack tires on other projects. I wanted to switch things up and get a Toyo, so I got this Open Country ATII, and this is a 285/75 R18. And basically what this is a small 35-inch tall tire. The diameter is basically 34.8 inches. Let's just put it up against the truck and see how it looks. Okay, so the Rebel comes with a 33 from the factory. This 35 is going to be really nice, but in the front, let's look there. Oh boy, the front is going to be a little bit more challenging, but this is why we're doing a 2-inch leveling kit lift for the front to fit this tire in. Basically the first production shock kit for the new Ram Rebel. Okay. And it has several ride heights. And what we're trying to do is do leveling kit basically. So basically a 2-inch lift in the front using the stock springs. And in the back, I really like this option. It's an adjustable shock in the back, so you can leave it soft or actually make it stiff for towing. We are installing the first pre-production set of these Falcon shocks for the new 2019 Ram 1500. They're not on sale quite yet, so final pricing is not yet available. The previous generation of these Ram tow haul shocks retail for around $1,500 for this set. And the pricing for these Toyo Open Country all-terrain tires just varies greatly depending on where you buy them. All right, all the wheels are off, so we're starting with the front shock replacement. So let's see how it goes.
First, get the sway bar unhooked. Separate our tie rod. Unhook the ABS wire. Onto that because now it's loose. You always want to hang a caliper, never hang it by the brake line. I'm sure it's been said probably a million times. Come in, undo our lower strut bolt here. Undo our strut nuts. Our good old bar pry. And remove our strut. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting it in this compressor here so that we can compress the coil spring so that we can take that nut off the top. Just compress it. Remove our old strut. Slide this guy in. And there you have your new strut.
It's time to mount the new tires on our Mopar wheels and then finally fit them on the truck and see if actually we have any rubbing and how they look. This is a stock Duratrack, just a kind of a small 33. This is a small 35 Toyo tire. The size difference is pretty clear. Alright, so Mopar has a couple of things going on here. This is an aftermarket Mopar wheel with this kind of a decorative trim ring. But it's also can be a functional bead lock. This is just to demonstrate how this works.
You get it where it's seated. You know, you're gonna have to play with it and get it to sit kind of in there.
Yep.
And then essentially, you have that area of the wheel that this is sitting on. And you put your ring on,
yeah.
And now it just locked that bead.
Yes.
That's all that is.
Using the bead lock is necessary when you are off-roading and you're airing down to a very low tire pressure, something below 10 psi. But bead locks are illegal on the street because they make the truck prone to rolling over in a high-speed turn or lane change. So we're mounting the tires in the traditional way. You had your Wheaties this morning?
I sure did.
Nice. Monster! As always, this episode would not be possible without our partners. In this case, of course, it's Falcon shocks and Toyo tires, and of course, John's 4x4 here in Boulder. Use the link below to go and check these guys out. So what do you do here at John's 4x4 in Boulder?
Well, we specialize in off-road outfitting. So we equip Jeeps, Toyotas, trucks with lift kits, recovery gear, tires, wheels, you name it. We help people enjoy their passion of living on the trail.
All right, here are the rear shocks. They're pretty beefy and piggyback reservoir. So basically the way this works, there's compressed gas here and the fluid actually cycles between the two bodies of the shock. And more fluid, you have a little bit more heat dissipation. It's nice, but there's also a valve here. And this valve is actually manually adjustable. In tow setting, the stiffest setting, which actually kind of closes the valve a little bit more, it actually controls the trailer better. The rear end becomes more planted, so I love this setup because it's an off-road shock, but also good for towing. So, is it fair to say that the rear is much simpler in general?
Yes. Yes, because we're not actually lifting the rear. We're not actually adding anything.
Yeah.
We're just putting on some better shocks. They probably have longer travel.
Yeah.
But we are about to do a little bit of comparison. Shock shaft.
Dang, dude, I mean, the size difference is huge. Just
The size difference alone is almost double. It is
I mean,
insane.
these are Bilstein shocks of a stock Rebel, and they already have a piggyback reservoir, right?
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's already pretty cool, but not as cool as this. Come
Not
on.
anywhere close.
Come on, look at the size of the shaft, the size of the body of the shock itself. I mean, it's just huge.
And then just look at the difference of travel that you have.
That's like at least 2 or 3 inches. Yeah.
So we're gonna get 2 to 3 inches more of droop when we go off-road.
Stock Falcon.
What these are, essentially a stone shield.
Yeah, because the tire is throwing up a lot of junk. You want to protect the shaft of the shock.
You obviously want to do this before you put them in this truck. Previously, hopefully you kept it hardware. Have your washer there.
And it fits, thank goodness.
And it fits, but as you can see, that sleeve that we had to remove does not fit, which means that they built in a larger diameter so that you don't have to use that.
Okay.
Now these are bottom, and then you have the top bushing that sits inside of that. so that it is a full bushing.
Okay, nice.
Without, you know, your traditional two-piece bushing. Make sure it's the right way up. Let me get our sway bar length. Now. Put our brake cable back up.
So when Roman is in the Baja Peninsula flying at 100 miles an hour racing this truck, you gotta have a bigger bump stop when you're all the way in the air. Falcon provides a bigger bump stop, which is a nice thing. It's pretty tough.
Pay attention to where your logo is. Place the new stop in. Make sure that it's in all the way. I believe after we cut the liners, we're done.
Now the moment of truth. Let's test fit the liner. Ooh, come on.
There you go.
Like a glove. Let's see, it's finally gonna touch the ground. Dude, it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be level, I wanted to have a bigger tire, and this is what we got. Oh, I can't wait to see it on the road. Or on the trail. Before we can flex the truck, we gotta get the wheels aligned, because any amount of lift changes the geometry, and we gotta get it aligned so it goes nice and smooth down the road. So far the clearance is okay. So far. Oh, the Rebel Rouser is good.
That our camber is within factory specs, but it's too far for my likings. Toe is actually pretty good, and caster just needs a little bit more of a split, and then we're good to go. We're gonna leave caster kind of where it is, because what that's doing is it's moving the tire technically forward, which will definitely give us a little bit better driving experience, and also less
clearance
stuff
over there.
We have to cut. I just did a caster adjustment and I did a camber adjustment to match it to this side. So now we're going to remeasure caster. So red doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, and green doesn't necessarily mean it's good.
So how do I read this?
Okay, so right here, you have your left front caster and your right front caster.
Yeah.
You want those to be slightly different, so that the crown in the road, so that when you go down it and the road's kind of like this,
Yeah.
your steering wheel's straight, you're going straight, you can let go of the steering wheel.
You're happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm happy with those numbers.
Okay.
And we did that on purpose so that we hopefully have less clearancing to do in those fender wells.
Sure.
Then we also have our camber, which is nice.
Spot on.
Spot on where we want it. And toe is 15 and 15. Perfect.
RTI stands for Ramp Travel Index, and we're basically measuring suspension flex. We've done it before on our channel, and you probably have seen this. But this is a standard 20-degree ramp. You're driving up this ramp with your driver's side, usually towards the front, and you basically want to get the truck to where the tire barely leaves the ground. And that's when you stop, and you actually measure the distance traveled up the ramp, and you divide it by your wheelbase, because the wheelbase is really important in this measurement, and you get the final number. So let's see what the Ram Rebel Rouser is after the suspension, leveling kit, and also the bigger tire. So when we measured the first time, the tire was about ½ an inch off the ground. And it's the same case now. It's a little bit off the ground, so we can measure the same way.
Right about there, center of that hub. Okay? Okay, so you... And then bring the marker. Mark that right there.
All right, so that's the mark.
And you're gonna go 59 and 5/8.
59 and 5/8.
59 and 5/8.
So we take 59.625 divided by the wheelbase of the Crew Cab Rebel, which is 144.6, times 1000 to move the decimal point, and it's 412. Yes, it is better. It was 378 before, so we improved by about, what, 22 plus 12 is about 34 points. Sizable improvement. I'm really happy.
And it's giving you really good flex. You see how this tire's tucked up but not rubbing? If we can get a good shot of the bump stops, you'll see the purpose of a bump stop,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it looks good.
All right, so how much height did we actually gain with the new suspension lift and the bigger tires? Let's measure. So stage 1 in the front was 12.5 inches to the step in the front. Now, almost 15. Nice, 2.5 inches. That kind of makes sense because of the 2-inch suspension lift leveling kit in the front and a 35-inch toe tire, which gives you about an inch. So that makes sense. In the back, also about 15. So actually the truck is now level. It's no longer, the front is no longer lower than the rear. And let's check the front tow hooks, because the approach angle was an issue before. So we really wanted to improve the approach angle. It was 17.5 before. 20.75. So just over 3 inches gain of height here in the front. Let me double check. And on this side, just about 21 inches, which means about 3.5 inches of height gain here in the front, which is awesome. I cannot wait to take this truck back on the trail and actually test out the new Falcon shocks, the new Toyo tires, and see how the whole truck works as a package. So that's coming up next time. We'll be in Moab, we'll be in other trails as well. So stay tuned for that, and go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real world Ram Rebel Rouser reviews.